Hi, welcome to section 5, Handling Server Data. In this section, we're going to talk about having asynchronous actions due to HTTP requests and how to handle that in two different ways in Redux. Let's start with our first video in this section, HTTP requests in Redux. In our example, everything is static or has no initial data, but we would like to have initial data for customers instead of the two customers we added statically here to come from endpoint. I'm going to use this endpoint by typing code. Its JSON placeholder gives you 10 different users with JSON data, and this is perfect for our case. Cool. As we know, React is just the view layer to view whatever comes from the state, and any change happened to the state is happening by reducer, and reducer is getting any data from the action payload. So the action creator is the best place to make these HTTP requests. Let's open it, the customer action, and start adding a new function. Fetch customer will take nothing, and instead of returning the object, it will return it like that, but first here it will be the HTTP request. So first, let's create a type here, because we would like to make some UI changes if we are starting doing some HTTP requests. So we need to inform our application view layer that there is something happening in the background. Cool. So if we go here and say customer start, we can send the type. It's saved. Now nothing is wired up. Let's start by wiring up first to see everything. Customers, and we need to return the fetch customer function and add it to map dispatch to props. Now we can use it as prop. The lifecycle function we need to use here is to use a component will mount, because we need to load everything before mounting the component. Then we can use this .props.fetch customers. Now everything should be wired up. If we open now our Redux tool, now we have fetch customer start. Of course it doesn't do anything because we didn't handle, but let's start with doing the HTTP request first. I'm going to use my favorite HTTP client for React, which is Axios. So you can say npm install Axios. Now everything is ready. Let's go ahead and import it. So import Axios from Axios, save. Now I can make Axios.get and put here the endpoint. Axios is returning promise. If we would like to have this data, we have to write then, and it will be a response, and console.log the response.data. Let's see, everything now looks cleaner. If we save and open the console, you can find here the list of users we found before by this endpoint. But how could we use this response.data and dispatch it as a payload here? This is not allowed explicitly in Redux. We have to use something that enables us to do that, like a middleware. And I guess you are now familiar what is middleware as we talk about in section 3. We have a lot of options to enable us to do that. We have observables from RxJS. We have something called Redux Saga, which is very interesting and using ECMAScript 6 generators. And we have Redux Thunk, which is the recommended one in the official documentation of Redux. And we have also promises. That's what we are going to talk about later.